Welcome to POSH Act Video Series, where you will learn about all aspects of implementing for your team the sexual harassment of women at workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act of 2013. A 2017 survey by the Indian National Bar Association of over 6,000 employees, the largest conducted so far in India, found that sexual harassment was pervasive in different job sectors, ranging from lewd comments to an outright demand for sexual favors. As per their survey, most women chose not to report sexual harassment to management because of stigma, fear of retribution, embarrassment, lack of awareness of reporting policies, or lack of confidence in the company's complaint mechanism. Many misconceptions about the act of law and the act of harassment make it difficult to talk about. In this video, we have addressed 4 categories of misconceptions which exist widely. Let's get to video number 10 to understand them. The first category is misconception about behavior. Following are few misconceptions around the action of harassment. 1. Sexual harassment is motivated only by sex deprivation. 2. Only young and pretty women have to face sexual harassment. 3. Sexual harassment requires that the perpetrator act with cruel intentions. 4. Sexual harassment is mostly a matter of flirting or romance gone awry. We all have heard these statements because sexual harassment is often misunderstood as an act only for sexual gratification. Definitely, the impact is sexual, but it is caused by power more often than not. Sexual harassment is not done by the cruel-looking 80s Bollywood villains, but by sophisticated folks in a glass office setting. Challenging these misconceptions will help you be aware of women's safety and not take it for granted. The second category is misconception about technicality of harassment. There are plethora of misconceptions about what is harassment and what is not. Here are a few examples. 1. Harassment requires touching. 2. If the offensive conduct happens off campus, it is not covered by POSH Act. 3. Remote work makes sexual harassment impossible. 4. His intentions were not bad. It can't be harassment. He was only joking. The most important point to remember is that unwelcome act is defined by the impact on the victim and not by the intent of the perpetrator. We need to be aware of the context and experience of the victim first to determine the harassment. As the prevention of sexual harassment is mandated by law, it is easy to misunderstand or misinterpret and get lost in the technicality of it. Challenging these misconceptions helps in being empathetic to the victims. The third category is the misconception that good people can't assault. Let's look at these misconceptions about perpetrators. 1. Most sexual assaults are committed by strangers. 2. Goodwill or good performance negates sexual harassment. 3. Sexual harassment is rare at a workplace. 4. He belongs to a good family. He has so many respectable women in his life. He can't harass. Well, we learned earlier that sexual harassment have origins in power and social conditioning. It is incorrect to assume that men with families or men with success cannot harass. During the Me Too movement, so many respectable men were called out for engaging in sexual harassment at workplace. Challenging these misconceptions help in conducting unbiased inquiries and stops the perpetrators to use their good image or good position for unwelcome behaviors. The fourth category is the misconceptions related to victim blaming. The most widespread misconceptions are around victim behavior. The recent ruling where court states that she did not behave like a victim only tells us how much these misconceptions are seeped in our lives. Let's take a look at some of them. 1. If truly it was harassment, she would have reported earlier. 2. She should learn not to unnecessarily blow up the issue. Minor sexual harassment should not be reported. 3. She is too friendly with men, or she should not drink in the office parties. 4. Too many women file false complaints of sexual harassment. These statements are incorrect and should never be used. They are used to derail the entire conversation from harassment to blame game. All these statements put the blame on the victim and move the focus away from the perpetrator. Women already face gender discrimination in society, and such statements create a fear of retribution and lack of faith in the system. To deal with trauma of harassment is difficult. It is important to give victims due time to recover before they can fight it. Even the law accepts complaints after months and years of act. Challenging these misconceptions helps in giving confidence to all team members that their complaints will get addressed by a fair and an unbiased manner. The misconceptions covered in the video are by no means comprehensive. HR and ICC of the company should conduct a gender sensitization workshop and help everyone understand how their behaviors, knowingly or unknowingly, obstruct the right of safe workplace for women. These misconceptions benefit the perpetrators and lead to a bad work culture and hence should be addressed immediately. More and more organizations are seeing the benefits of open and safe work environment, and it's essential that everyone actively participates in building a safe workplace free from biases and misconceptions. Thank you for watching through these series. We congratulate you for your effort to make a change. Subscribe to our channel for other videos in this series. Visit the Dhwani Legal Trust website for posters and documents related to the Act.